Ever wondered how to make your homemade meals more delicious? We're here to guide you through the art of creating scrumptious meals right at home. So, buckle up and get ready to transform your kitchen skills. First things first. The cornerstone of any great homemade meal is using fresh ingredients. But what does fresh really mean? It's more than just a date on a package. Fresh means vibrant, bursting with life and flavor. It means ingredients that are at their peak, harvested at just the right moment to deliver the best taste and nutritional value. Now, let's take a moment to compare fresh and stale ingredients. Picture a ripe, juicy tomato just plucked from the vine. Its skin is bright and firm, its aroma earthy and sweet. Now imagine a tomato that's been sitting in a store or your refrigerator for too long. Its skin is wrinkled, its color faded, and its aroma, well, let's just say it's not appetizing. The difference between these two tomatoes is clear, not just in appearance, but also in taste. The fresh tomato is sweet, tangy, and juicy, while the stale one is bland and mealy. But the importance of fresh ingredients goes beyond just taste. Fresh ingredients are also more nutritious. They contain higher levels of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which are essential for our health. Moreover, fresh ingredients are often locally sourced, which means they haven't traveled long distances to reach your plate. This not only reduces their carbon footprint, but also supports local farmers and the local economy. So, where can you find these fresh ingredients? Farmers' markets are a great place to start. They offer a wide variety of fresh, locally sourced produce, and often meats and dairy products too. You can also consider starting your own vegetable garden. There's nothing more satisfying than cooking with ingredients you've grown yourself. Remember, when you start with fresh ingredients, you're already halfway to a great meal. The flavors are more intense, the nutrients are plentiful, and you're supporting a sustainable food system. So, next time you're shopping for groceries, make a beeline for the fresh produce aisle, or better yet, your local farmer's market. Your taste buds, your body, and the planet will thank you for it. Now, on to flavors. Understanding the basic flavor profiles is key. Picture a pentagon, each corner representing one of the 5 basic flavors: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. The savory taste often associated with broths and cooked meats. Each flavor has its own unique characteristics, and when used correctly, can transform your dish from ordinary to extraordinary. Let's start with sweetness. It's the flavor we're introduced to first as babies, and it's a universal favorite. Sweetness can come from natural sources like fruits and honey, or from added sugars. It's often used to balance out other flavors, especially sour and bitter ones. Speaking of sour, it's the tart, sharp flavor you'll find in citrus fruits, vinegars, and fermented foods. Sourness can brighten up a dish and give it a refreshing kick. It can also balance out sweetness, preventing a dish from becoming overly saccharine. Next up is salty, the flavor enhancer. Salt draws out the natural flavors of food, making them taste more like themselves. But beware, too much salt can be overpowering and leave your dish tasting like the ocean. On to bitterness, often an acquired taste. It's found in foods like dark chocolate, coffee, and certain vegetables. Bitterness can add depth and complexity to a dish, but it needs to be balanced, usually with sweetness, to prevent it from being unpalatable. Lastly, we have umami. Coined by a Japanese scientist, umami translates to pleasant savory taste. It's found in foods rich in glutamate, like tomatoes, cheese, and soy sauce. Umami gives a dish depth and a satisfying mouth-filling sensation. So, how do we balance these flavors? Here's a simple guide. Counteract sweetness with acidity, balance bitterness with a touch of sweetness, and don't forget, salt enhances flavor. Play around with these flavor profiles, experiment with different combinations, and most importantly, taste as you go. Remember, it's all about finding the right balance to make each ingredient shine. Mastering a few basic cooking techniques can transform your meals. Let's dive into 3 core methods: sautéing, roasting, and grilling. Sautéing is a quick and easy technique that's perfect for weeknight dinners. This method involves cooking food quickly in a small amount of oil or fat over relatively high heat. The key to successful sautéing is to keep the ingredients moving. This is usually achieved by shaking the pan or by tossing the ingredients with a spatula. Sautéing not only seals in the juices of meat and fish, but also keeps vegetables crisp and flavorful. Roasting, on the other hand, is a slower, gentler method of cooking that is usually done in an oven. This technique is ideal for larger cuts of meat or whole vegetables. Roasting at a lower temperature will cook your food more evenly, while a higher temperature will give you a delicious, crispy exterior. Remember to baste your roast occasionally to keep it moist and flavorful. Lastly, let's talk about grilling. This technique imparts a smoky flavor to food and is ideal for cooking meat, fish, and even certain fruits and vegetables. Grilling is all about direct, high heat. To grill successfully, you need to manage this heat, move your food at the right time, and remove it at the right moment. It's a bit of an art form, but with practice, you'll be grilling like a pro in no time. Each of these techniques brings out different flavors and textures in your ingredients. Sautéing is great for quick, flavorful dishes, while roasting brings out the natural sweetness in veggies and meats. Grilling, with its distinct smoky flavor, can take your dish to a whole new level. But remember, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to cooking techniques. It depends on the ingredients you're working with, the dish you're making, and your personal preference. So don't be afraid to experiment with these techniques to discover what works best for your ingredients. They say we eat with our eyes first. And it's true. Presentation matters. You see, the beauty of a dish can stimulate your appetite even before you've taken that first bite. It's the visual invitation that piques your curiosity and gets your taste buds tingling. Imagine two dishes placed before you. One is a haphazard pile of food, the other a meticulously arranged layout of the same ingredients. Which would you rather dive into? The answer is pretty clear. Presentation does indeed play a vital role in the dining experience. So how can we elevate our dish presentation? It's easier than you might think. Start by considering your plate as a canvas. The food is your paint and the utensils, your brushes. You're not just cooking now, you're creating a piece of edible art. Color is a key player here. A vibrant array of colors on your plate not only looks appealing, but it also signifies a variety of nutrients. No one wants to eat a monochrome meal. Next, think about texture. Mix crisp with creamy, crunchy with soft. This creates a pleasing contrast and makes each bite interesting. Lastly, don't overcrowd your plate. Give each element its own space to shine. This isn't just about aesthetics, but also about making each bite a balanced blend of flavors. Just a few simple tweaks can take your dish from home-cooked to restaurant quality. So, the next time you're in the kitchen, remember, you're not just a cook, you're an artist. Lastly, never underestimate the power of cooking with love. No, it's not just a saying from a Hallmark card. There's an undeniable truth to it. When you pour your heart into preparing a meal, it becomes more than just a dish. It becomes an expression of your passion, your creativity, and your care. It's like a heartfelt message that you send across the dining table. A meal cooked with love carries the warmth of your heart and adds an extra sprinkle of joy to every bite. It's not about achieving Michelin star standards or crafting Instagram-worthy plates. It's about the joy you find in the sizzle of the pan, the aroma of herbs, and the satisfaction of watching your loved ones enjoy a meal you've crafted. So, when you're in the kitchen, cook with all your heart. Remember, you're not just feeding stomachs, you're nurturing hearts. And there you have it, folks, the art of creating delicious homemade meals. It isn't about complicated recipes or fancy equipment. It's about the simple things done right. Let's quickly recap the main points we've covered today. First, the importance of using fresh ingredients cannot be overstated. Remember, fresh means vibrant, full of flavor, and ideally locally sourced. It's the cornerstone of any great homemade meal, a surefire way to elevate your dishes. Next, understanding flavors is key. Whether it's balancing sweetness with acidity or counteracting bitterness with a touch of sweetness. The art of flavor is all about finding the right balance. Then, we've discussed mastering basic cooking techniques. From sautéing to roasting to grilling, each technique has its own charm and can bring out the best in your ingredients. We also talked about presentation. Remember, we eat with our eyes first, so make sure your dishes are as pleasing to the eye as they are to the palate. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, always cook with love. The best meals are those made with care and passion. So go ahead, put these tips into practice and make your next homemade meal a masterpiece. After all, the joy of cooking comes not just from the delicious end product, but from the journey of creating it. Here's to many more culinary adventures in your kitchen. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own culinary creations in the comments below. Until next time, keep cooking and stay delicious.